Hey, so for a while I've been battling a persistent and annoying buzzing sound from the exhaust system on the Z3, and it's been kind of a struggle because I've never been really quite able to solve it or track it down, but today I'm going to do a really thorough exhaust inspection, inspect the exhaust and everything around it to try to get down to the reason of why it's buzzing, and hopefully this might help you out even if you don't own a BMW Z3 like this or have a custom exhaust system, because really this can happen on any vehicle with any kind of exhaust system. I'm just going to go around and do a really thorough inspection, try to find anything that might be loose, that might be bumping, rattling, anything that might give an indication that while I'm driving this car that I'll hear that buzzing sound. Now I don't have any audio sample of what this buzzing sounds like, but it crops up anytime that you're driving around, and especially when you rev the engine fairly high on the tach and you let off of the accelerator and the engine drops its revs right between maybe 3,000 and 5,000. You'll hear this buzzing sound as you come off of the throttle. So yeah, let's poke around and maybe see what we can find. Right, so let's go ahead and start at the very rear with the muffler. And something that you might want to look for in a muffler, if you can look for it, is your muffler might be equipped with one or many baffles inside of it that are tack welded inside, and those can rust at the welds, break apart, and cause a buzzing sound potentially. But this street power muffler is a little bit different than that design. There are no baffles in it. It is a straight through muffler with a sort of perforated interior, and in this interior you might see sticking through, we have these little filaments. These are actually bits of steel wool that are packed inside there, and again, that is to muffle the sound, but I don't suspect anything here in this muffler is actually generating a buzzing sound. It looks like the muffler passes here. I'm going to start to go around and apply a little bit of force with a rubber mallet. We're just going to go around, we're just going to tap a little bit and see what that sounds like. Don't hear any buzzing from that, seems pretty solid. Let's move on to the body of the muffler. Seems to be pretty solid as well. We're just going to keep moving down that direction. Alright, start to inspect the exhaust here. Sounds good. This all sounds okay. No buzzing yet. Alright, so now we're coming up to this exhaust this heat shielding right here, and this can also be a source for rattles and buzzes and things like that, and harmonics. That seems pretty solid though. Let's move on to the clamp here. It seems pretty solid to me. Okay, further down to the catalytic converter. Don't want to tap that too hard, you might break it, but seems fine so far. Okay, so with all that checked, I really need to change my position a little bit here and attack the rest of the exhaust up front and that heat shielding off to the right. And now we are ahead of the catalytic converter. Engine is that way, catalytic converter is this way, and we're going to start to test this exhaust pipe. That seems pretty solid. I know you can't see it, but it also does not look like it's scraping or touching anything. Let's go ahead and check the heat shielding right above it. It sounds like it's loose and there's sand above it that's been trapped, sand or dirt or whatever is collected over the years. This might be the source. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the little flat nuts that are holding this in. There's 1, 2, 3. I see 3 of them, and they seem pretty corroded too. I'll show you here after I loosen them. Always be careful that you're not getting rust in your eye as you do these things beneath the car. Probably should be wearing eye protection. Anyway, these take a 10 millimeter socket to remove, and you can see that, wow, this is pretty darn rusty. I don't know if that has anything to do with the sound, but might need to replace them anyway. Or just clean them up. We'll see how bad it really is. Okay then, that's 3. Let's see if we can't remove this. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Alright, so here is the view without any of that exhaust heat shielding. As you can see, it doesn't appear like there's anything sensitive here that could melt. This goes just straight up into the passenger section of the car. I don't see any wires hidden here. No fuel lines. All the fuel lines are on the other end, on the driver's side here. So I'm not worried about driving without a heat shielding for too long here. I don't think that would cause any damage, but I would eventually want to replace it with something. I think we're good for a test drive here to see if this hopefully solved the problem.
One eternity later.
Okay then, so I took the car out, and sure enough, I think the heat shield was the problem. I didn't detect the same buzzing on the car before, so I think that's a success. I think may have been a result of some dirt maybe collecting between the heat shield and the body of the car. This car has a custom exhaust system on it, and it's much louder than stock, and I think that's causing things around the exhaust system to vibrate and resonate, and I think that might play a role in this, because I didn't notice this buzz before I put the custom exhaust on it. And then I had the exhaust done, and I'm thinking, well, it's a bad exhaust. Not really, it's just louder and vibrating more, and everything around it is probably vibrating a little bit more too. Just some quick tips for if you're looking for exhaust-related noises on your car. Do a thorough inspection. Go along with a rubber mallet and tap along as you go, not just at the exhaust pipes, but also the heat shielding around it to try to find things that maybe aren't as solid as they seem. So the other thing that you might want to look at are the exhaust hangers, the rubber exhaust hangers used in your exhaust system. They can get old, and as they get old, they don't work as well. While I was trying to diagnose the buzzing issue on the exhaust on this car, I went ahead and replaced just one of the 2 rubber exhaust hangers and noticed a little bit of difference. So that might make a difference for your car as well. Now, whatever you decide to end up doing, make sure that you're operating under safe practices whenever you're underneath that car. Make sure that the car is stable on its jack stands if that's what you're using. But, you know, just be careful. In any case, I hope that's been helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you down the road.